Now to a trend hitting Florida hard. Fewer kids playing high school varsity football. Our I team actually discovered the number of varsity football players in Florida is at its lowest since 2012. Investigator Kylie McGivern has been looking into the impact it's having here in the Bay Area. She joins us now. And Kylie, why? Why is it lower? Why less kids playing?
Well, we kept hearing the same three answers over and over, and this is just from what people have experienced. One is not as many kids getting into the Little League Tackle League, so not having that same kind of pipeline coming up. Now, that could be whether parents are concerned about increasing awareness when it comes to injuries, or another reason that was brought up is there's a lot of other options in terms of other sports out there. Another reason is kids are not playing sports as much as they used to at the high school level. There was some other study that just came out saying that has dipped for the first time. So those factors kind of playing in, some with injuries though, for sure.
And Kylie, can you set the context as to what's happened this week?
Well, what's crazy was we've been working on this story for a while now, but this week it seems like the topic is even more timely. Just on Monday, there was a story about a kid who was playing in a Pop Warner League, and doctors said that it was basically a miracle that he was not paralyzed. He is recovering right now from that game, and his parents, told one of our reporters that they didn't want it to be a knock against football. It was a 1 in a million hit, but still shows the dangers that can occur with a game like this, any contact sport. And then just a couple days ago, one of the high schools, Gulf High School, they actually canceled the rest of their season. And that's because they didn't have as many players to begin with. And then 4 of their players were out for injuries. We're talking 3 concussions, 1 broken leg. And basically school administrators were like, look, we don't want to put our other kids in jeopardy that haven't played as much. And we've got less than 20 kids that are on the team to begin with. So that was pretty striking just in this whole conversation.
And that's not the only school you guys have found that are having trouble with, the football team in attendance.
Absolutely. So Tarpon High, which happens to be my alma mater, I mean, it's always been a big football town. I can say that from experience. I mean, it's always been huge. And when we saw that, there was talk about whether there would even be enough kids to field a team, I personally was shocked to hear that, just given that rich history and culture. Take a listen to one of the fans.
You're always concerned about injuries. It's a rough sport, but we love to watch it and support it.
And you've been hearing that same sentiment from a lot of people who have
Yes.
that traditional football background as well, right? What are they telling you?
So, we've got kind of 2 camps, so to speak, and then there are obviously nuances, which we'll share more of tonight. But, you've got the people who are like, look, tackle football, that is football. We can't just look at flag football, which is another alternative that is growing. But you've got kind of that old school, new school mentality. I mean, even people we were talking to in the stands, parents, some were like, yes, I'd absolutely put my kid in football. Others that said, you know what, I would have to think twice. And then another camp still that wants to wait as long as possible to put their kids into tackle football, making that transition perhaps from flag to a more contact sport, obviously.
And Kylie, out of curiosity here, what got you started into looking at this topic?
Well, my producer and I were talking about this, and now it's been a few years since more information has come out between different studies, Boston University being a big one, and the NFL when it comes to the impact of concussions and head injuries and CTE. All of that knowledge has really grown. So we wanted to kind of look at a point in time, so to speak, of where are we at now? Has that had an impact on participation? And as we talked about earlier, there's a variety of factors that surely are playing into this. But when we saw that Florida, which is a top football state, to see those numbers dropping, we wanted to look into more why that is. So that's what kind of sent us on this journey, so to speak. And then specifically, once you get outside of just the state numbers, what are we seeing here in the Tampa Bay area, which really has had powerhouse programs, still does, but what do the numbers look like and what are the reasons for that? We thought is something that people would be interested in.
And is there anything else you think people can look forward to seeing in your report tonight?
Yes, well, when we were out at this South Tampa Flag Football League, you know, we happened to meet this family. You know, we were just talking to them. What were your decisions? What were the reasons why this rather than, you know, Pee Wee Tackle League? And they said, well, you know, his father plays in the NFL, and we feel strongly about this choice. So, you know, the father plays for the Carolina Panthers, and tonight you're going to hear from him directly, because it may not be what you expect in terms of their strong feelings for their 6-year-old son who plays on this league.
And this is a complex subject, and her full report is airing tonight at 11 p.m.